Good evening and welcome to Ukraine Brief. I'm Jastrzębska. Today marks day 1457 since Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Here are the latest stories of the day. US-mediated peace talks between Russia and Ukraine wrapped up in Geneva on Wednesday without a breakthrough. President Zelenskyy voiced his frustration at the lack of progress. Zelenskyy said the military talks were serious and substantive, but the political negotiations were far less productive and didn't lead to any real compromise. Later that day, Kremlin negotiator Kirill Dmitriev went a step further, suggesting the US would eventually lift sanctions on Russia out of its own economic interest. In an interview released today with Piersmorgan, Zelenskyy criticized what he called Russia's obsession with historical arguments during the talks, calling them nonsense and saying they have no real practical value. Meanwhile, German outlet Der Spiegel reported that Chancellor Friedrich Merz believes the war will only end when one side runs out of military or economic resources. In a post on X today, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy said any talks between NATO and Russia about a new agreement cannot happen without Ukraine if they involve its future membership in the alliance. His comments come after a political report claiming the United States has been lobbying against inviting Ukraine to formal meetings at NATO's annual summit in July in Ankara.
I know the Americans and maybe some Europeans are discussing a new document with Russia between NATO and Russia. When they have such a document, they can discuss everything. But for me, it's important that they discuss our potential place in NATO with us, not just with the Russians, with us, because it's about us. But they might do it also without us. Maybe we don't know something. In any case, we will react to surprises if they happen.
Sweden has announced a new military aid package for Ukraine worth about $1.4 billion. The biggest portion of the package will go toward newly manufactured short-range air defense systems. The aid package announced Thursday also includes drones, long-range missiles and ammunition. Sweden's defense minister, Paul Jonsson, said the equipment is meant to meet Ukraine's most urgent operational needs. It's part of Sweden's broader military support framework for 2026, worth nearly $4.4 billion. Separately, Stockholm said it plans to provide guarantees to the World Bank for a support loan for Ukraine of about $275 million by the end of the first quarter of 2026. EU sanctions envoy David O'Sullivan said the bloc's proposed 20th sanctions package would ramp up economic pressure on Russia. The measures include a full ban on maritime services that transport Russian crude oil. Brussels pushes to approve the package ahead of the 4th anniversary of the invasion.
What we're doing at the present time is we have the price cap, which is, if this cap is respected, then Russian oil can be transported, but it is set at a level, it's currently about $44 a barrel, which is well below the world price for oil. So when Russia ships oil in respect of this price, it's already taking a considerable discount off the price it might otherwise get. The effect of moving to a full maritime services ban would be basically to make it impossible for any Western shipping company to transport Russian crude oil. And this would put further downward pressure on the price of oil that Russia receives.
Drones broke through anti-drone nets and hit an oil depot in Russia's Pskov region overnight, sparking a major fire at the site. Video shared on social media shows a large blaze tearing through the facility overnight. The oil depot is about 500 kilometers north of the Ukrainian border, in the city of Velkie Luki. Sources in Ukraine's state security service told several Ukrainian outlets the strike was carried out by the elite Alpha drone unit and targeted what they described as legitimate military infrastructure. The depot sits near a key railway junction and reportedly stores diesel, gasoline and other petroleum products. Hungary and Slovakia have both announced a halt to deliveries of diesel fuel to Ukraine after Russian oil supplies through the Druzhba pipeline were disrupted. Transit through Druzhba has been halted since late January, when Russian strikes damaged the pipeline infrastructure. Both Hungary and Slovakia accuse Kyiv of failing to restore the flow.
We do not accept the decision of the Ukrainian government, which goes against their status as a candidate for European Union membership and violates their commitments to the EU. We will take every step, which is why we are turning to international forums and have stopped supplying diesel oil to Ukraine. We are also examining the possibility of suspending electricity and natural gas supplies. We believe that this clearly crosses all limits. Action against another EU member state, which, by the way, has been helping Ukraine not with weapons and soldiers, but with humanitarian aid even during the war, is unacceptable and intolerable.
And with this, we conclude Ukraine Brief. Thank you for watching, and please stay tuned for more here on TVP World.